Hi, it's Sarah here and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going through my fall TBR. I am very excited. I have lots of books that I want to read this fall. I don't know if I'm going to get to them all. I also don't have the physical copies of most of these books because some of them are still in the mail coming to me. Most of them are my sister's and a couple are audiobooks. So we're going to get started. First off, we have The Silent Patient. I actually finished this book on September 1st, but I had this as part of my fall TBR. I just wanted to read it. I was excited to read it, and I rated it, I think it was 4.5 stars, 4.25, something like that. I'll put it down here. And it was such a good book. I liked the back and forth, like different chapters being between different characters, different POVs. It didn't happen like every chapter by any means, and it was kind of from like past to present, and it was super interesting, and I did not expect what was coming at the end. It was like right before it happened, I was like, wait a second, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, oh my gosh, it was such a good twist ending. I didn't rate it 5 stars because it just didn't feel like 5 stars. I did really enjoy it, but something about it just, it wasn't a 5-star book for me, but the more I think about it, the more I do think I could rate it a little bit higher. Highly recommend. This is popular for good reason. And in no particular order, I have the rest of these books. So this just came out and I pre-ordered it and I'm so excited that it came in. This is Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and this is the second book in a series. I loved the first book so much. I could have rated it 6 stars. Like, I loved it so much. And this is the second book in the series. I don't really want to describe what it's about exactly, like this book is about, because I don't want it to give away anything from the first book. But the first book is about it's a more fantasy slash LGBTQIA plus slash, I don't know. That's the gist of it. And actually, let me grab it. Okay, this is the first book. And I kind of wish I had the hardcover because apparently it's blue here. And this one has yellow here, which is super fun. But it is about a man who is a caseworker for this department. It's the department in charge of magical youth. And there's a lot of magical people in this world. And he lives a very quiet, mundane life, which usually sounds like it could be kind of good. No, his life is kind of very boring. He's not super happy. He seems like he's kind of depressed. But he enjoys his job and he enjoys the work he does, and he enjoys working with the people that he does. Not with the people at his work. He enjoys the kids he goes to work with. So he gets put on this really crazy, intense assignment that he's never done before. And he goes to stay there for a month, and he really starts to love the kids that are on the island. He gets a love for the island itself and just all the people, and he starts learning about things that he didn't realize, and he has to make a decision as to whether he's going to stay or leave, or whether he's going to enjoy his job, whether he's going to help these kids, whether he's going to help other kids. Like, it's a super interesting story. I loved it so much. Highly recommend. And this is the last physical copy that I have, but this is How to Solve Your Own Murder. To be honest, I don't even remember much of what this is about, but it sounded super interesting, and that's why I bought it to begin with. I will just briefly read this to you guys. It's 1965, and teenage Frances Adams is at an English country fair with her 2 best friends. But Frances's life takes a hairpin turn when a fortune teller makes a bone-chilling prediction. One day, Frances will be murdered. Frances spends a lifetime trying to solve a crime that hasn't happened yet, compiling dirt on every person who crosses her path in an effort to prevent her own demise. For decades, no one takes Frances seriously, until that is nearly 60 years later when Frances is found murdered. In the present day, Annie Adams has been summoned to a meeting at the sprawling country estate of her wealthy and reclusive great-aunt Frances. But by the time Annie arrives in the quaint English village of Castle Knoll, Frances is already dead. Annie is determined to catch the killer, but thanks to Frances's lifelong habit of digging up secrets, it seems every endearing and eccentric villager might just have a motive for her murder. Can Annie safely unravel the dark mystery at the heart of Castle Knoll, or will dredging up the past throw her into the path of a killer? As Annie gets closer to the truth and closer to the danger, she starts to fear she might inherit her great-aunt's fate instead of her fortune. Doesn't that sound good? And it's so pretty. Look at the gold shimmering on there. It's just such a pretty cover. I'm excited to read that. Okay, so next we have Jane Eyre, which is a book that I started listening to a little bit in July. Maybe it was August. I started listening to the audiobook in August, and then I was enjoying it at first, and then I started to get super bored. I'm like 45% through the audiobook, and I'm not loving it. But my sister loves it, so many people love it, and I know that there's a reason for that, and I want to get to that. I hear that it gets super interesting, it gets almost bone-chilling, and I'm ready for that. And that feels very fall Halloween-y, so I am going to keep trying. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook, and I am hoping to finish it by the end of September. We'll see. Next we have Pet Sematary. This is currently in the mail coming to me. It says it just shipped. I don't know where it's at. It shipped like 3 days ago though, so I'm a little concerned that they don't know where it's at. So I have only read one horror book before. It was a YA horror book, and I did enjoy it, and I'm feeling, because fall Halloween, I want to read horror, so I am gonna try this out. I've heard Pet Sematary is really good, so we're gonna see. Okay, so next up we have The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This is also on its way to me right now, being shipped. This book is like a cozy mystery romance book, and it gives Gilmore Girl vibes is what everybody says. It's not rated the highest on Goodreads. It's rated 3.47, so that's not bad. It sounds like it would just be a super cozy, very nice fall book where you go sit outside and read it on a cool day where it's sunny and the leaves are rustling. That's the vibe it gives me. So I don't even fully know what it's about, but it sounds exciting. So if you like Gilmore Girls, you like fall, you like cozy mysteries and romance, you'll probably like this book. I don't know, I haven't read it, but that's my guess. And there is 2 more books that I'm reading, but they're not really part of my fall TBR. They're in another video that I'm reading. One of them is Barack Obama's book. I can't even think of the name right now. But that one I'm listening to on audio. My husband also has the copy if I want to physically read it. And then I'm reading another book as well called All Boys Aren't Blue. I'm halfway through it. But that's also for another video and just a different read. I didn't technically count it as my fall TBR. That was actually on my summer TBR, so I'm trying to finish it before the first day of fall. Okay, and then lastly, I plan to read all 7 of the Harry Potter books. That is a big task because some of them are huge, but I'm gonna do it. I'm planning to start at the beginning of October, and I'm hoping to finish by the end of November. But we'll see if that actually happens or not. If I keep going, it's fine. But I know I want to read some like Christmassy books and stuff as like kind of November to December comes. And Harry Potter is like definitely has the fall vibes and a lot of the winter vibes. It really has all the seasons, but just feels really like the right time to read them. And my sister owns all the books, and so does my roommate. So that's why I don't have any copies with me, because I'll have to get it from them whenever the time comes. But I'm super excited. I've never actually read the books. I've watched the movies more times than I can count. I have been playing the game Hogwarts Legacy. I've been to Harry Potter World like multiple times, and the one in Florida and the one in California. I've only been the one in California once, but I love Harry Potter so much. And so I feel like after I read the books, I'm gonna love it even more. So yeah. Very excited to read all these books. It is going to be so much fun. And I'm gonna film some videos of me reading those books as well, and I'm excited to take you guys along for that. So that is everything I am planning to read this fall, and I hope that you have enjoyed and that you have some awesome books you wanna read this fall. Maybe you're interested in reading some of the books I am reading. Let me know down in the comments what you're planning to read this fall, and if you've read any of these or if you have any recommendations for me. Thanks so much. I hope you take care. Bye.